When kids go through really hard time early in life, it can change how their brains grow and work. Even when they are all grown up, early life stress and adversity can have profound and long-lasting impact on brain development and function, with consequences that persist well into adulthood. So in this video we will explore the various ways in which early adversity shape the brain, the mechanism underlying these effects, and implication for cognitive, emotional, and behavioral outcome across the lifespan. Neurodevelopmental vulnerability to early life stress. The brain undergoes rapid and extensive development during early childhood, making it particularly susceptible to environmental influence during this period. So there are several key aspects of neurodevelopmental occur during the first few years of life. Rapid synapse formation and making lot of connection between brain cells. So myelination of neuronal pathway, which means building pathway for message to travel. So development of key brain structure and circuit. The next establishment of neurotransmitter system, that means setting up system for brain chemical. These processes are highly experience dependent, meaning that early experience play a crucial role in the shaping neuronal architecture. When a child experiences chronic or severe stress during this sensitive period, it can disrupt normal neurodevelopmental trajectories with lasting consequences. So what are the types of early life adversity? So there are many kinds of difficult experience that can affect a child brain. First, abuse. It could be being hurt physically, sexually, or emotionally, not getting enough care or attention. Exposure to domestic violence. So seeing violence at home, having a parent with a mental health or drug problem, living in extreme poverty, institutional deprivation, that means growing up in a orphanage. Community violence, if living in dangerous neighborhood and going through natural disaster. While these experiences vary in nature and severity, they share the common feature of activating the body stress responses systems in a ways that become toxic when chronic or extreme. So how stress changes the brain? One big way that early stress affects the brain is by messing with the body stress control system. When this system gets overworked in childhood, it can lead to too much stress hormone in the body all the time. Not reacting normally to a stressful situation, problem turning off the stress response, change in how stress related gene work. These changes can stick around into adulthood, making it harder to handle stress later in life. So changes in brain structure. So scientists have found that tough childhood experience can actually change the size and shape of certain brain areas. The fear center might get bigger, which could make someone more anxious. The memory center, hippocampus, might get smaller, which could affect learning and remembering things. The thinking and decision making area, prefrontal cortex, might not grow at much, which could make it harder to control emotion and make good choices. The bridge between the two sides of brain, corpus callosum, might be smaller, which could affect how different parts of the brain work together. Functional brain changes. So early stress does not just change how the brain looks, it also changes how it works. The fear center might become overactive, making someone jumpy or easily scared. The connection between the thinking area and the fear center might weaker, making it harder to calm down when upset. The reward system in the brain might work differently, which could lead to risky behavior or drug problem later. The brain's daydreaming, network might be altered, affecting how someone think about themselves and others. So obvious question is why these changes happen. Several things work together to cause these long-lasting brain changes. Gene changes. Tough experiences can change how genes work without changing the gene themselves. This is called epigenetics. For example, a stress might change a gene that control the stress response or mood, making someone more likely to have anxiety or depression. Brain inflammation. So ongoing stress can cause inflammation in the brain, which can make it harder for the brain to change and grow. Slow down the birth of new brain cells. Increase harmful substances in the brain. Mess with how brain chemical work. Problem with brain growth chemicals. Stress can interfere with chemicals that help the brain grow and change. When there is not enough for these chemicals, it can affect how the brain develop and work. Faster aging in cell. There is some evidence that early stress might make cell in the body and brain age faster. This could lead to earlier mental decline and health problem later in life, like Alzheimer. So how this brain change affect behavior? The way early stress changes the brain can lead to various difficulty, trouble with mental skill. Kids who have had tough time might struggle with skill like remembering things short term, switching between tasks, stopping impulses, planning and organizing. This problem might be related to change in thinking, decision making part of the brain. Difficulty managing in emotion. So people who experience early stress often have a hard time controlling their emotion. This might be because of fear center in overactive. The connection between thinking and feeling area is weak. The stress control system isn't working right. And this can show up as mood swing, getting frustrated easily, or reacting strongly to stress. So problem with attention and learning. So early stress has been linked to difficult paying attention and learning new things. This might be because of change in the memory center and other brain areas involved in focusing and learning. Social challenges. The kids who have been through tough time might have trouble with the social skill like understanding other thoughts and feeling, recognizing the emotion in other, solving problem with friends. These difficulties can make it harder to form and keep friendship. Risky behavior. Changes in the brain reward system might lead to taking more risk, being more likely to use drug, having trouble staying motivated, or working towards goal. Long-term mental health risk. The brain changes caused by early stress can increase the risk of mental health problem later in life. Can increase the risk of mental health problem later in life. Depression and anxiety. People who had tough childhood are more likely to develop depression and anxiety disorder. This might be due to the change in stress hormone, mood-related brain chemical, and emotion control. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Early stress make it more likely that someone will develop PTSD after going through trauma later in life. This might be because the fear center is more reactive and it's harder to let go of memories. Addiction. The impact of early stress on the emotion control and the reward system can make emotion more vulnerable to drug and alcohol problem. Personality disorder. Experiencing stress early in life, especially if it affects the relationship with caregivers, can increase the risk of developing personality disorder. Psychotic disorder. There is some evidence that early stress might make someone more likely to develop disorder like schizophrenia, possibly by affecting stress hormone and brain chemical. Resilience. Overcoming early stress. It's important to know that not everyone who goes through tough time as a kid will have long-term problem. Something can help protect against the effect of early stress. Supportive relationship. Having at least one caring, supporting adult in childhood life can make a big difference in how they cope with stress. Genetic factor. Some people might have genes that help them be more resilient to stress. A strong mental skill. Having good skill in areas like problem solving, emotion control can help someone cope better with early stress. Positive experiences. Exposure to positive, enriching experience after early stress can help the brain recover and develop in healthier ways. What this means for helping kids. Understanding how early stress affects the brain can help us find better way to support kids who have been through tough time. Early help. Because young brains are so flexible, helping kids early on can make a bigger difference in preventing long-term problems. Trauma-aware care. Doctors, teachers, and others who work with kids should understand how early stress can affect behavior and development. Targeted support. So programs that focus on a specific brain-related challenges like improving attention or emotion control might be especially helpful. Policy changes. Law and policies that help reduce poverty, prevent child abuse, and improve access to health care and education can play a big role in protecting kids' brain development. So in conclusion, early stress can have a big impact on how the brain develops with effect that can last into adulthood. It can change the structure and function of brain, leading to various emotional and behavioral changes. However, the brain's ability to change also means that with the right support and experiences, many of these effects can be overcome. By understanding this impact and the working to prevent and address early stress, we can help ensure healthier brain development for future generations. So thank you for the watching and see you in the next video.